What is going on, all of our Matlockers out there? It is Jason, joined by my good friend John. John, how have you been?
I'm doing well. I want to thank everybody for being flexible enough that I kind of got caught up working on a project and lost track of time. And so that's why we moved things back to 9 p.m. But you know what? We're so excited to talk about this episode of Matlock that we had to have it happen. I mean, we thought about postponing it, but we said, no. The people deserve to hear our discussion, our analysis of this fantastic Matlock episode. But no, I'm good now. So it was a little bit rushed and stressed to get here and get into the studio here at Casadela, Orlando. But, you know, we're here. We're ready to go. How are things with you, man?
Dude, they're going fantastic. Three Geeks did really well yesterday. We hit 20.3 thousand views in 28 days.
Wow. Great job, man. Congrats.
Well, I mean, like, I think 3,000 or 4,000 of that was from Mattalk.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And then Justin's hard work. Justin's been working really hard behind the scenes. And so have I. I mean, me and Justin have been on the social media / shorts grind.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, I posted a short on your Facebook page without even asking you.
No, that's okay, because it's all the same. You know, what is it? You know, the old saying, my casa, su casa, you know, that type of deal.
So I want to just say this again, everybody. Watch Elsbeth. Everybody that I know somebody who doesn't even watch TV anymore that turned on Elsbeth and is really into it. So
wait, who does not watch television anymore?
Well, my girlfriend's mom doesn't really watch TV. She was telling us how much she liked Elsbeth. Guys, like this is our show, guys. This is what we live for, is what this show represents. So go check that out. And we have an email. And then the email, the subject line says Benji from Elizabeth. I'm not going to say her last name. Liz is how she signed it. So Liz, thank you so much for the email listening. Please send us more emails. We love them. Says, I am newish to listening to the podcast, and as someone who doesn't typically like podcasts, I wanted to tell you how much I enjoy listening to you talk about this show. It's long been a comfort show for me, and I have fond memories of watching it as a kid with my best friend and her grandpa. Rewatching as an adult, I'm actually surprised by how well it holds up most of the time. Absolutely, especially the last few seasons. I did have a comment about the madam that I think was lost to the metaverse because I can't seem to find it. Anyway, you touched on it in the episode, but I definitely felt like there was a real missed opportunity for courtroom shenanigans and other hilarity by leaving Julie out of this episode. I will admit that she's always been my favorite character since I was a kid, though, so I frequently feel like episodes without her are missing something. Thanks for producing quality Matlock content, and I look forward to the next installment from Liz. So, Liz, again, thank you from both John and I. And I agree. Having Julie in that episode, kind of playing on the love triangle with Ben could have been fun. I agree. I think she was missed in that episode. I would love to have seen her as the prosecutor.
Oh, and she could have given like those dirty looks to him across the way whenever Anne would be all flirting with him. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Liz. Thank you very much for the email again. Thank you for the kind words. And I agree. I think that would have made things a little bit more, give a little more sizzle to the episode, if you will. And you know what? We buried the lead. Jason, we buried the lead. It's Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
Yes, I apologize. We just are so excited to talk about Matlock. We totally skipped over. It's a great day for the celebration of motherhood, and all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day.
Absolutely. I really wanted to watch Psycho today for Mother's Day, and I did not get around to it. Who loves their mother more than Norman Bates? Just saying. He loved his mother so much that when she died, he became her.
Okay, you got a point there. Valid point. Can't argue that. Okay.
It's a good Mother's Day movie, but in all fairness, I did go. We went to my girlfriend's mom's house first. We had lunch there, and then we went to my parents' house for my mom's lunch, my dad's birthday, happy Mother's Day. And then I just got home like right when you texted and said, hey, can we move to 9?
Oh, okay. Well, I spoke to my mom as my mother lives out of town, very far out of town in Rhode Island. So it's quite a long trip from Columbus, Ohio to Providence. But I spoke to her today, and actually we kind of agreed that we were going to kind of combine Mother's Day with her birthday when I'm going up there at the end of June. So we'll celebrate properly in June.
Nice.
So, yeah. All right, Jason, are you ready to get on into this episode and talk all about it?
Dude, I cannot wait.
All right, then. If there's nothing left to discuss, let's go ahead into our opening statement. The name of this episode is The Personal Trainer, and the original air date is October 9th, 1990. Jason, we have 3 guest stars worth mentioning. I'm going to start off with Mary Margaret Humes. She's going to be playing the role of Bridget Laird. Excuse me. You may also know her as Marilyn Teller on Erie, Indiana, Carol on Blossom, Gail Leary on Dawson's Creek, Miriam in the movie History of the World Part 1, and literally she has been almost on every single 80s television show. I mean, you look at her resume, she's been on TJ Hooker, The A-Team, The Fall Guy, Hunter. I mean, they're all one-offs, but like every big Knight Rider, every big show, she had at least one role on there. And so that's pretty impressive, don't you think?
Yeah, it's like she was on Dawson's Creek quite a bit. She was on Jake the Fat Man, Perry Mason, but no Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, we won't get a hat trick tonight. Darn it.
Oh, we still got two more shots. But yeah, no, Dawson's Creek, she was on for almost 100 episodes. Good Lord. Yeah. And then she's been in a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies. Sadly, I haven't seen any of these. So I got to make sure I save this in my web browser so I can kind of have a checklist of some Hallmark movies I haven't seen yet.
For those who are just joining us, first time ever, Jason loves Hallmark holiday movies. Loves them.
I do. The Jewish ones, the Christmas ones. Give me whatever. A Kwanzaa one, find one for me and I will watch it. I love holiday movies.
You still got to watch the hockey one. This when Christmas rolls around. I expect you to watch the hockey one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's something. But let's move on and talk about another guest star. George DeCenzo will be playing the role of George Wilton. You may know him as George Baines in Back to the Future, the voice of Bo and Hordak in She-Ra, the Princess of Power, Major Benchley in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, D.A. Arnold Bach in Equal Justice. He does a voiceover work for Captain Lou Albano on Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling cartoon. He also did some voiceover work for Cyclops and Captain America on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. But like I said, I think most people know him as George Baines from his role in Back to the Future.
First off, it's not George Baines, it's Sam Baines. You're thinking of George McFly, Marty's dad. He played Lorraine's dad.
Oh, my bad, sir. I apologize.
But to be fair, he did play a lot of people named George, as I'm skimming his IMDb page. He was also in a Perry Mason movie. He was in The Exorcist 3, which is a very underrated movie. Jake and the Fat Man again. Animaniacs. Yeah. Oh, he was, dude. Murder, She Wrote. He was in 6 episodes as 6 different characters.
What? So we have a hat trick?
Yes.
All right. We have ourselves a hat trick. Yeah. Woo! All right. George DeCenzo. All right,
dude, you buried the lead, John. Like,
what?
Whoa, he was in Challenge of the GoBots. I was a GoBot kid. I was never a Transformers kid. That happened later in life. But the GoBots, I know the Kmart version of Transformers, but I was all over it. I remember Wendy's had a kids meal toy that was a GoBot.
Yeah, I had GoBots too because they were the cheaper version. Yeah, I didn't have too many Transformers. I had quite a few GoBots. How can I overlook? I mean, because he's done a lot of voiceover work for cartoons. George did.
Yeah, absolutely. And rest in peace to George.
Mm-hmm. All right, now here we go. The gauntlet's been thrown down. If you don't recognize this person, this final guest star, I'm going to worry about you, man. I'm going to worry big time.
Really? You missed a big one 2 weeks ago, like a big one.
Oh, I know. And I'm determined never to let that happen again. Let's talk about Leslie Easterbrook, who will be playing the role of Joanna Hilton. You may know her as Mother Firefly on The Devil's Rejects, Patty Frost in 2007's remake of Halloween, Rhonda Lee on Laverne and Shirley, and you probably know her as Sergeant Debbie Callahan in the Police Academy franchise.
That's who that was. I was trying to figure out why she looks so familiar. That is nice.
So this would have been kind of, because 90, they would have been halfway through the catalog, correct? Because they made 5 up to what, 93? Was that the last one?
6 was 89, and then they made 7 much later in 94.
Okay, so
Police Academy 1 is the best one,
yes.
But there are parts in all of those movies that are extremely funny. Like every one of those movies has a few scenes in it that's funny, some more than others, but there is a lot of funniness throughout that franchise. A little less than 7, but she was even in the TV show, the Police Academy TV show.
Yeah,
she's like Michael Winslow. They both really hung in there.
Do you think Police Academy could be remade today in 2024?
I was on that bandwagon of I wanted an 8, and I know they had spent so much time talking about it, but at this point, I just don't know how you remake it. Like, a few years ago, I watched Shaquille O'Neal in something, and I'm like, well, I guess if they remade Police Academy, he'd be a pretty good Hightower. But like, you'd have to find quirky comedians like Bobcat Goldthwait, like. They were all comedians, but very different. And you have to find a good straight man that everybody loves, like Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Or make a requel where they kind of reboot it and let maybe Steve Guttenberg play the Commandant Lassard role where he's in charge of the Police Academy. That could make for some fun shenanigans.
Did you ever get the Police Academy comic book?
I did not. I have the I have the cartoon series on DVD.
Wait, there was a cartoon series?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
A live action show, which Michael Winslow came back and was she only guested once on the TV show, but he was on it, like, I think through most of it. I tried to watch the first episode of the Police Academy show because it's on Tubi, and it is not good.
Oh, okay. All right, then, Jason, I got to ask you a question, and that question is this. Are you willing to give an opinion, your opinion, solely your opinion, so help you?
I do. So let's testify.
Let's testify. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the plot of this episode is a jealous roofing contractor is charged for the murder of a personal trainer who was sleeping with his wife.
First off, I'm just going to say this going into this episode. This roofer contractor, he is kind of an ass, but I feel bad for him. Like, as this episode progresses, it just gets worse and worse for him as far as, like, all the crap this dude put him through.
I have no sympathy for the guy because you're right. He was a jackass, and there's plenty of jackass to go around in this episode, by the way, just throwing it out there. Okay, so the opening scene is some of this old-timey from the 1920s, women working out in these ridiculous, like, workouts. Like, some of that machinery looked like a torture device, not like something to build muscles. I mean, but we cut to Henry. No, his name is Harry. Why did I say Henry? That's not the right guy.
Same reason you said George, not Sam. 9 o'clock, past our bedtime.
That's right. You're correct on that one. All right, so Harry's reading in bed, and Dee Dee is wanting some sexy time, if you will. And he's kind of, I'm reading this book, blah, 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 blah. He likes books, by the way. And I'll go ahead and just talk about this. It's never really revealed why he likes books. Like, it's just something that he does. And he gets, like, the classics, like Tropic of Capricorn. I forget what he's reading in bed, but it's also a classic. Maybe it was, I don't know, Catcher in the Rye.
I didn't need the mystery of why he likes to read solved in this, but maybe we can write a prequel episode about why he likes to read.
Maybe we could have. Yeah, we might have been able to fit something in there because there's one scene that I'm going to be like, that wasn't necessary, but I digress. Then he gets a phone call. Phone call from Joanna, who needs a workout. A workout at 9 o'clock at night. So off he goes. And his definition of a workout and Joanna's definition of workout, a little bit different than maybe you and I. Huh?
It's alone time.
It's more sexy time. It's not working out. Nope. So it is here where Joanna gives Harry a first edition copy of Tropic of Capricorn. And so we cut to a scene where Ben is leaving his house and it's raining out. And then he shows up complaining to George about a leaky roof. And
one thing I like about this episode from the second it started is we get this look on Ben's face through the entire episode. And I love it when Andy Griffith plays mad. Like there's even a moment in this episode where he throws a chair, which we're going to get to here shortly.
Oh, yeah. So they argue, Ben's like, you didn't fix my roof and I want it fixed and it's water's coming in and you're going to ruin my couch and my carpeting and blah, blah, blah. And so George says he'll have his workers at Ben's place. First thing in the morning, he's going off to dinner. So Harry shows up at Bridget's and Harry tries to, I guess, wiggle back into her life. Like he's like, oh, you got a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And then Harry is discovered, his lighter is discovered in the bedroom. And of course, George and Joanna have a huge blow up. And then we go to Maury's gym. All right, where Joanna and Bridget are working out when George arrives with a gun. And Bridget basically calms him down, which I was wondering, why is she calming him down? His wife is there. I don't know why she didn't do it. But anyways, Bridget calms him down. He leaves. And I wrote down, isn't he going to be arrested anyways? Because you can't run into a business brandishing a firearm and not face consequences, right?
You would think.
I thought you were going to say, it's Georgia John, It
didn't matter because he gets arrested shortly thereafter anyway.
That's true. Because we cut to a scene where Harry's reading, knock at the door. He goes to the door and pow, somebody shoots Harry. And George apparently found out where he lived. And he's driving over and he opens the door that was ajar and he's standing over the dead body. One of the pet peeves of Jason. At least he didn't wallow.
He stays at the door. He doesn't go up to the body.
He doesn't?
No, I paid very close attention because I was waiting for it because he looked like he was curious about the body. But no, he was smart. Okay. He's not a good roof fixer, but I mean, he doesn't at least like fondle dead bodies. So that's more than we can say for most of the people in the first 2 seasons of the show that were accused of a crime.
Did you just say fondle the dead body?
Dude, they rolled around in like the blood and got their fingerprints every week.
No, I just fondle the dead body. That's hilarious. This better make it short. Justin, jot this down. We're gonna have to make a short of this. Anyways, all right. I just appreciated your verb. That's all I've appreciated. Fondled. Anyways, so we go to police headquarters and Ben shows up mad. His roof is not fixed. He throws a chair. This man is out of control. He throws a chair.
Dude, he's not playing. I love this. I love Angry Ben.
Well, the recliner's ruined. He can't sit in his recliner. And so he threatens George again with hitting him with the chair. So Ben hears his side of the story. George says, please defend me. I'll make it up to you, blah, 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 blah. So Ben takes the case. Ben shows up at Harry's home and he interviews Dee Dee. And then Maury shows up and he's there and he scolds Ben for making Dee Dee upset. So we go to Ben's house and there's leaks galore. This is where I wrote down later. This seems like overkill. Like, I don't think your roof would leak this badly unless there's like gigantic craters in the shingles and in the ceiling.
One of my pet peeves on 80s shows, and I'm not holding it against this episode because every show did it. If you look out that window in the background, the rain is just coming down in like one half of the screen. Are you chugging the stomach medicine, Pepto?
No, I'm drinking a Prime.
Okay. I'll look at you, man. Not Tip. He's doing what the kids do. But it's when the rain is only on like half the window and it's like pouring on that half of the window and then you see a few drops on the other side of the window. That drives me nuts. But again, I'm not holding it against this episode. So I was a little distracted by the roof scene because I was paying attention to what was happening in the background.
Yeah, like I said, it just seems like this is an outrageous amount of leakage in your home. Michelle shows up to chat about the case, but well, they can't sit anywhere, otherwise their bottoms are going to get wet. So we then cut to a scene where George finds out that Bridget may have been messing around or talking with Harry or whatnot. And at the same time, Ben shows up at the same house, Bridget's house, and basically is like, wait a minute, time out. You're having an affair with her? You all need to go to church.
That becomes a theme in this episode, which I find funny.
So basically, Bridget is seeing and sleeping with George, and George is upset that his wife is sleeping with Harry. So it's a big, giant mess. And Bridget has a lame alibi. I forgot to mention this. She was shopping, right? Which that's not going to hold up well. So Joanna is working out, and she's interviewed by Michelle Thomas. And Bobby is there. We're introduced to Bobby, who doesn't really look like a kid. And later they do mention she's 22 years old, which that was fine. But at first I was like, who is this person? But Michelle, she rolls a BMW, so she must be getting well paid from old Ben Matlock, huh?
I would hope so, man, with as much as they make case. And I'm sure she works her own cases.
Yeah.
Just sad she never became like a named partner.
Yeah, no. Well, Ben is watching for Bridget, and then Michelle joins Ben in the car for a meeting, and they decide to follow Bridget. And she goes to this little particular apartment building, and Ben tries to scam the doorman, but to no avail. He slips him $20, and he's like, oh, yeah, she's in room 609. Ben and Michelle interrupt this person named Alex and Bridget in this fancy hotel. Alex is a painter, and Bridget's like her cousin, I think she says, and she's his nude model. Okay, at this point, would you ever, I don't know your family makeup, but would you ever want to see your cousins naked? Like, even if you're doing something like painting, like I would rather have a stranger, somebody I didn't know.
First off, no, I do not want to see my cousins naked, but even if I did, I wouldn't admit it on Mattalk. But no, that is a bit weird. I heard it too when she said it, and I'm like, what?
Bobby shows up at Ben's office, and Harry's having an affair with her.
Yeah, this guy, like, I don't understand like how he has the stamina. I don't understand, like, that's just too much. And he went and hung out with Bobby before he went and hung out with her mom. Or no, he went to Bobby's after he hung out with her mom. So he went from mom to daughter to ex that he has, that he hasn't seen in a while, that the other guy is back with. So he is 3 degrees of separation with all of this guy's people.
I know. I'm appalled. This is, I don't know. This is just, I'm surprised Ben's not more sheepish. He seems to be much judgier, So basically, Bobby has a shoplifting rap, and so she had community service the day of the murder. That's her alibi. So we go to the courtroom, and Michelle tells Ben that Dee Dee isn't a suspect, all right? And then Ben tells Michelle Bobby's whole deal, like, she's sleeping with Harry too. He's kind of worried what the prosecutor might do if they find out that Bobby is having an affair. If everybody's having sex with one another, I don't know. I don't know what the prosecutor is going to do with that. But so Bobby and Joanna were at the child care center where she had to do her community service. I'm sorry, Ben and Michelle were there at the child care center interviewing the director, and some kid wipes his hands on Ben's pants and gets green paint all over them. If you ask me, Ben asked for it, because you just don't go over to a kid that's finger painting if you don't want your suit to get ruined, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's right. Ben gets a parking ticket, and then he wonders if that would play in. That's a clue. Maybe Joanna got one. I don't know.
It's funny. I heard the parking ticket, and I'm like, that's how he's going to solve the case.
Yeah.
I think we've been watching so much of this, dude. So this has been an ongoing theme in my life. Watching TV with my girlfriend, I will just blurt something out. I don't think I'm right. I'll say this is how it's going to end, And then sure enough, almost beat by beat, it's how the episode ends. I think I'm watching too much TV.
You might be. You very well might be. All right. So Ben interviews Dee Dee again, who now has gotten like Hindu religion, very like hippie-ish, if you will. And she talks about there's a missing copy of Tropic of Capricorn, and that could be a possible clue. Now, here's the thing that I really think that we could have done without. Ben is going to roof his own house. Like, really? Like
I
that?
liked it, man. I thought it was funny.
No.
I knew how it was going to end too, but
oh, I did too. I knew. I was like, and sure enough, he enters the courtroom on crutches. Ben's really upset with George.
Hold on, loosely on crutches. Like Andy Griffith isn't even trying to use the crutches. He's walking. He's walking and just moving the crutches as he walks. I was laughing hysterically. I'm like, this is great. He doesn't even need the crutches. I wonder if the character of Ben just had him there because to threaten the suing of the other guy, because there is no reason for those crutches. He literally is walking and like just moving them as he walks.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it could be a scam. That's good. That's a good explanation because I wrote that down too. I'm writing, Ben is walking like a normal person.
He's just scooting the crutches. Dude, I found that so funny. I was laughing.
Well, he did say that, he's very upset with George because George, again, hasn't had his men come out and fix the roof, and that Ben's going to quit as his attorney because it's conflict of interest. I'm going to sue you, George, so I can't defend you. And so basically, George goes, fine. I'll give you $250,000 to cover all the damages and everything. And so that deal is settled. Joanna's on the stand. Joanna admits to having an affair with Harry. And always in the guest house, though. She always meets him in the guest house. And Harry's lighter was found in the main house on the master bedroom floor.
So the daughter takes her boyfriend, or the guy she's having the affair with, up to her parents' bedroom?
Yeah.
Why, the mom is out in the guest house?
Yeah.
But she wakes up in the master bedroom. So what was she doing for that hour that he went up to see the daughter?
I don't know.
Or did he go see the daughter first?
I didn't really pay that close of attention to who got sexy time
the daughter first, and then went and saw the mom, and then went and saw that other girl. I think that's the order.
Okay.
That's a lot in one night. I'm just saying.
That is. And also, too, my mind's going to, like, thinking about how gross that is as well. But anyways, so Harry was in the bedroom when he was with Bobby, is what the consensus is that because Harry never entered when he was with Joanna, that was with Bobby, that he would enter the house. Joanna actually left the kid care center, killed Harry, returned, parked, and missed the street cleaning, all right, which was happening for that hour. Like, she had parked in this particular curb spot, and had she stayed there, the street cleaner would have, maybe possibly pinned her in or whatnot, and she probably would have gotten a ticket. But because she missed that, and she came back, that's the clue that Ben is going to focus in on. And then the missing book, the Tropic of Capricorn, is found in Joanna's car. And so George is found not guilty. George kisses Bridget. And Ben has a nice remark because I think Michelle says something about them. Oh, they're back together. And Ben goes, wait till she asks him to fix the roof. All right, Jason. Got anything else you want to talk about before we get into our final part of this episode?
No. I have nothing else I want to get into at this particular moment and juncture.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means that we didn't like it. 5 gavels means we absolutely loved it. -10 gavels means we are moving to Australia, going to rob a bank, and live happily off the grid. So, I'm going to go first because I always send it to John. This episode was awesome. I love Angry Ben, and from the first moment we see Ben, we see this face. And how do you not love this face? We even got to see Andy Griffith throw a chair. We got to see Andy Griffith pretend he was using crutches with not really well, but I think that was part of what Ben was trying to do in that moment. So I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to just say that it wasn't lazy acting. It was part of Ben's plan. And I'm going to give this episode a 4.7 out of 5 because it was so much fun. I had a blast. It loses 0.3 because Conrad wasn't it.
I give it a 3. I give it 3 gavels. Yeah, whatever. I liked the acting. I thought it was good. I liked Angry Ben. I also wrote down I like Crutches Ben because it was ridiculous. I wrote down as negatives there is no Conrad, as you mentioned, and kind of like Harry's affairs of having intercourse with all these people was almost comical to a point. Like it, I kind of didn't know if I should put it as a plus or a negative.
Well, technically only 2 because the last girl he went to see, he left before anything could transpire, and then he left his wife just wanting some, right?
Yeah, his girlfriend. I mean, it was comic. It was almost comical, but and I also said I didn't think that we really needed the roofing storyline with Ben, even though it did give us Ben who doesn't know how to use crutches. So I thought this was middle of the road. I gave it a 3. All right. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you agree with me and Jason. Maybe you don't agree with me and Jason. So let's let them know, my friend, where they can get in touch with us if they have a comment about this episode or any episode for that matter.
The Mattalk audience is very good at communicating and sending us fun stuff. Please keep doing that. I love getting the DMs from you guys talking about your experiences with the show. Also, guys, you guys can email us at benmattalk@gmail.com. As soon as I get the email, I send John a screenshot of it. I'm like, woohoo, we got an email. So we love getting the emails. Again, Liz, thank you for the previous email. We loved it. And we're glad to have you on board checking out the show with us. But guys, benmattalk@gmail.com.
And you can also leave us a message over on Facebook. Facebook page for this great podcast is Mattalk Podcast. That's all you have to look for. And leave us a message over there as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review. Am I missing anything else, Jason?
Like, subscribe, rate, review. Nope.
Tell people. There you go. Recommend to a friend. Mattalk. We love doing it. We appreciate all the support. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start wrapping things up, Jason.
Also, guys, if you're in the groups, the Matlock groups that we're all part of, I think there's 3, tag us. And we'll have a conversation on there, too, if you don't want to email it. You just want to tag us.
Good idea. Good idea.
3 Geeks Podcast. We are live Saturdays at 7 p.m. We're going to be live this Wednesday at 7 p.m. reviewing X-Men 97, which so far is the best show of this year. And I cannot wait to see how it ends. It is nice growing up watching a cartoon series as a kid and then them making a sequel series to it almost 30 years later. And the show grows up with us. So we're getting a lot more adult stories, a lot more adult themes that kids can still enjoy. But it's definitely made for our enjoyment. And X-Men 97 is fantastic. Some of the best writing on television right now. So we're going to be doing that, releasing 4 shorts a day, usually between Justin and I. So guys, come check us out. Follow us everywhere at 3 Geeks J, at 3 Geeks Podcast on all of your social media platforms.
And as for the PVD Cast, which is my own personal podcasting project, you can find it at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. The episode that's up right now is actually a celebration for the OWA, the Ohio Wrestling Alliance. It's been a wrestling company here in Columbus, Ohio for 5 years, but it has decided to close its doors for a variety of reasons. And I sit down with the promoter and the ring announcer, and we talk shop about, the history of the company, why that it is closing its doors, some favorite matches, some cool, wild stories as well. So you can get that at pvdcast.com or once again, through all those major podcasting outlets.
Nice, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Have a wonderful week.
And as they say in court, nothing further.
Whether you're solving murders during breakfast, cracking cold cases on your commute, or playing amateur detective at bedtime, Amazon Music's got millions of podcast episodes waiting. Just download the Amazon Music app and start listening to your favorite true crime podcasts ad-free, included with Prime.